Hey y'all, it's DCG. This is gonna be a story time about how my first impressions of when I met my cousin Neasha for the very first time. For those people that don't know, I did just get in touch with my birth family. I am adopted, so on and so forth. If you want to know, a little bit more about my adoption, I have a video on my channel. Just go watch it. I think it's entitled "Adopted by White People" or something like that. I'll put the link in the description. And yeah, so let's get started. So when I met my cousin Neasha for the first time, she was the only family member that actually reached out to me immediately wanting to meet me. And so basically that kind of made me feel good because I didn't know what I was getting into at first. I didn't know if anybody would want anything to do with me or want another family member. I don't know what this family is like. They don't know me, and it was a new experience. My mom had been incarcerated at the time. My birth mother was incarcerated, so there was a lot of tension there. Like everybody was kind of sick of her and didn't want anything to do with her. So I felt like me coming into the picture, everyone was expecting me to be something like her, which I don't think that was fair. I think that a lot of the family members judged me from the jump without really, knowing me. They just saw her and they're like, oh, well, you're her kid and you're genetically impaired with her, so you've got to be just like her because you're her kid, because you came from her, which is bullshit. But, you know, I feel like Neasha didn't really jump on that bandwagon. She saw me for me, and I really did appreciate that. And we went out to Chili's. We set a date to go to Chili's. It was myself, it was my foster mom, and myself, my foster mom, Neasha, and her boyfriend, and my adoptive mother. So it's all of us sitting at Chili's, and I could remember the first time I saw Neasha walk up, and she kind of looked a little scared. I'm not even gonna lie. It was either she was scared or nervous. My first impressions of her was, God damn, she's short, and I was like, I guess that runs in the family because I'm short too. I'm not even that tall, but to her, I'm real tall. So it was something to like get used to. I'm having to bend over to give her a hug, which was weird. I'm not really used to that. Um, and she was absolutely hilarious. I knew that we were related just by her sense of humor. I thought that junk was so funny. She was straight to the point. She was real. She kept it 100. That is the kind of person that I want to surround myself with. She always turned like a sour situation into something happy and fun. You tell her something and it could be something serious, but she turns it into a joke, and sometimes that's very much needed. When things are like tense, she's the one that just doesn't give a damn. She's just gonna be her, and she could care less who doesn't like it. And I think that's like the memo of my family. Like, we're gonna be us. We're gonna be who God created us to be, whether you agree with it or the next bitch. We're not here to please you. We're here to please the Lord, and that's it. If you don't agree with it, you could go. The door is that way. And she had that very strong attitude about herself. I discovered that we are very similar in the things that we like to do as far as reality TV and just lounging and chilling. Family comes first, and we really take that seriously. Um, I cannot say that I've ever had a negative encounter, even until this day. This was back in like August of 2016, but even still to this day, I have not had an issue with her, and I absolutely love and adore her to this day. And the only thing that I can say is I wish we spent more time together. She's busy, has a job, I have a life, but it would be nice. But I think that she's honestly one of my favorite family members. Like, walking into this and somebody to feel comfortable around, her and her boyfriend made me feel the most comfortable out of everyone in the family up until this point. And it just really was something to get used to, because I'm coming from an adoptive family that could care less about me. So when I have blood, that cares that much more, it just makes things different. Like, I don't even know how to feel. It just, I don't know. It's just somebody that cares. And that's not, I'm not used to that. That's not very common. And that's pretty much where I'm at right now. And I am just over the moon. And I couldn't have asked for a better cousin. And more videos and vlogs about her to come. I'm pretty sure she'll appear in one of my videos someday. And yeah, it's basically, there's not a whole lot to tell, but just don't try her and she'll be all right. And that's pretty much it. Unless you want to get shanked, then you go ahead and try her. But other than that, she's the coolest. Neasha is Neasha, and I love her to pieces. So I will be doing story times about the rest of my family members. There really wasn't a whole lot to tell. I mean, it was a very calm lunch. We just kind of sat there, and she was being interviewed, asked a whole lot of questions about her from my adoptive mom and my foster mom. And, basically I was sitting there listening and liked everything that she was saying, didn't have a problem with any of it. And basically that's how it went. She kept it 100, which I would have liked her to. And that basically is my first impression of her, which was pretty good, because they say first impressions is everything, and she definitely made an impression to remember with me. And I will never forget how kind she was, how nice and how sweet, and how much we resemble one another. It's funny the way that works, but if you saw us together, you would know that we're related. But I think, yeah, she's the coolest. So that's it.